Yo, what up, YouTube? Alright, so this shit gonna be how trippy fucking school was in the halls and in camp. I'm gonna knock first in the halls, right? You go on the school movement and shit. You line up, you come out your unit, you double time out. You line up in like four lines and shit. Everyone falls in behind each other. You fucking put your hands behind your back every time you stop and shit. Put your hands behind your back and you put your head down. They call that shit chin to chest. So every time you in the school movement and shit, they say stop. You fucking, well, you already walking with your hands behind your back, but you got to put your head down. And the trippy ass shit is motherfuckers will be having their head down, but they be looking, and they'll go on the school movement and they'll start banging on you. You know, niggas do that shit quiet as fuck too. Like they motherfucker when they're all loud, like yo, where you? Nah, niggas be walking and shit. You see they and they they would fucking see you doing that shit. So then, anyways, when you go to class and shit, this was like every class I've been in the halls. They give you a fucking a word search or a crossword puzzle to do. So you sitting there getting you getting credits, you getting high school credits or whatever because you doing crossword puzzles and word searches and shit. I had one teacher, Miss Dean. She had us read like a little fucking the little engine that could. It's some kind of book like that. It was like, are you fucking serious? But I didn't realize like a lot of motherfuckers in there couldn't read. Like a lot of motherfuckers couldn't read and shit. Anyways, so that's school was a trip in the halls. I remember there was this one teacher, this Cuban lady, Miss Boris. She had a fat donkey, just super donkey. And every day motherfuckers used to, I know I used to look out the window and shit and fucking be waiting on that bitch to walk past and get one off real quick. Motherfuckers used to be in her class because they got a bathroom in their classes and shit. It's a door you go in a little small room with a door in the classroom. They would go in there and whack off and shit. But anyways, camp camp school was a fucking trip because fucking the teachers. First one was Mr. Espinoza. Fucking this dude was a computer teacher and shit. He tried to teach us that Cisco program, which I regret not learning and shit. But that dude was a fucking tweaker. He was just like he would move 100 miles an hour, and fucking if you didn't couldn't keep up, he wasn't nobody was really trying to teach you. His class was so weird that motherfuckers. I remember Jones took a piss in that motherfucker one day. He just leaned to the side and whipped out and took a piss right in the middle of the class. Cause dude used to always be in the back. He just pissed right on the floor. I'm like, yo, this nigga's tripping. Fucking. Anyways, Espinoza was fucking a weirdo. Then you had fucking Mr. Jex. Mr. Jex was a crazy ass fucking white dude. Fucking like when you line up, you had to go into the room. You had to walk past him. Like him and Miss Westbrook, she'd always have to say good morning or good afternoon. Shoot, Mr. Jex would be so crazy. He'd be like, look me in the eye, son. You look me in the eye. You think you're running something? You ain't running nothing. You look me in the eye when I'm talking to you. And he used to just go on this shit, man. And this is a fucking school teacher. But I remember he used to make us memorize poems and recite them every Wednesday. So he'll give us a poem and shit, and if it was long, he'll just break it down like, boom, you gotta remember that shit. Fucking, and recite. We had to stand up one by one, recite whatever he asked us to recite. And then he would have these big old king size candy bars that he would throw at us. He'll flick at us. But if you didn't know it, that motherfucker would be on your head. He'll be on your head for real. I remember when I was in my other video and I was talking about working at A-Dorm, I would ditch. I know niggas be like, how the fuck you did school and shit in camp? I was working, so I would just hide out in the cut and A-Dorm, act like I'm working, and I go to school, miss school moving, all that shit. But I remember fucking one day he calls down there and shit. They're like, yo, Mr. Jex says to go down to his class. I'm like, fuck. When I get down there and shit, he's like, he started going off on me. Look me in the eye. I'm like, nigga, I'm locking eye. When he went off, he was like, I'll get you locked up. I'll write you up for the. I'm like, man, he tripping. Like, I'm here. Anyway, that was Mr. Jex. Fucking, I remember he was the first teacher he saw, like, all right, this nigga knows a little bit more than his other cats. So he would put me off in the back of the class and give me these college books about slavery. For some reason, it was always about slavery and shit. But he used to just let me go back there and just read. He'd be like, here, read that. It'd be about Indians and slavery and shit, like oppressed motherfuckers. I don't know. Anyways, then you had Miss Westbrook. Miss Westbrook was a little short black lady. Every day you had to line up and go into class and you had to say, good morning, Miss Westbrook. Good afternoon, Miss Westbrook, if you was in the afternoon class. And if you didn't, after we went inside, she'd be like, you, go back outside and come back in and say good morning to me. Then she'll cuss you out. If you doing something wrong, she'll be like, look here, you little motherfucker. Da-da-da-da. You be like, yo. Like a little short ass. She would have to be like 5 feet tall. She would have this little coat she would wear. She walk around and shit, all innocent. Good morning. Then you piss her off. Look here, you little motherfucker. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You be like, man, this fucking old bitch is crazy. I remember one day I fell asleep in her class. I got my head down like this. Yo, this bitch came right in my ear and was like, wake up! I did one of these. I was like, yo, like, old lady, everybody is hammered right now. Like, I was gonna smash your old ass for doing that shit. So that was Miss Westbrook. She ain't fucking around either. But then you had Miss, damn, what the fuck was her name? Miss Domeran or some shit. Was an older white lady. And she was just all nice and shit. All nice and sweet. And didn't raise her voice or nothing. And motherfuckers, I used to love going to that class. That was like the one actual real teacher. Then you had old ass Mr. Nelson. Mr. Nelson was like 80 years old. He used to have his pants all the way up here. And every morning he would read the newspaper. If you had a morning, when you started class, every class he would read the newspaper and shit to you, to the whole class. That shit was a fucking trip, like, cause we weren't allowed to get the newspaper in the halls or in camp. They cut us off from the outside world. Besides visits and letters. But fucking, damn, battery's dying out. Anyway, Mr. Nelson was a fucking referee this shit on the weekends or whatever. But he was a trip. He would always be like, hey, you guys knock it off. Shut the fuck up. I remember one time Jones and Polanco got into a fight one day in the class. Boom, boom, boom. They broke it up. Mr. Nelson, old ass broke it up. We laughing at shit. Jones come out the door on the first door. Polanco like, hell nah, that shit ain't over with. He cracked the second door and see Jones just like, huh? He come out the second door like, crack Jones. Boom! They lock up again. They go down. Cause we was in like a bungalow class, so they go down the stairs and shit, and they fighting A-dorm right there. They fighting in the A-dorm and all that shit. That shit was like, man. So anyway, then we had Fucking Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly was like a dirty ass beach bum hippie bitch. A tall ass white lady, like 6'1", 6'2". Used to come with flip flops on with dirty feet. Kind of young, like in her late 20s. Fucking. I remember this bitch brought up that one nigga Red from Remember the Titans and shit one day. Anyway, she would just put movies on this shit all day. So anyway, that was school and fucking a little bit of school in juvenile hall and in camp. Hope y'all enjoyed it.